Cloud Katie appeared, and today for you, I got another tier list video for you. So yes, this time, we're not rating My Hero Academia characters, no. We are not doing Power Rangers, no. Today, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, if you understand that reference, we should be friends. Today, I will be ranking fanfiction tropes. Yes, fanfiction tropes. You read the title right, you heard me right. We're going into some fanfiction territory here. Cause, I mean, as I've stated before, I am fandom trash, and you can't be fandom trash if you've not read fanfiction. So basically, I saw this tier list on another YouTube channel, which was Colleen Does Things, which is an amazing channel. You should definitely check it out. I'll put our links down below in the description. But yeah, so where she obviously ranked her ones, so I thought, why not rank what I like to read in fanfiction? Maybe exposing myself just a little bit. But yes, let's just get to it, shall we? Okay, so here we are. Here is the fanfiction tropes tier list. So yeah, so we've got all of these right here, and I did change the things because they were like S rank, A rank, etc. But I decided to change it up a bit. So obviously the top one, so of course the top one we've got Love This. So this is fanfiction that I would read regardless. These are my favorite. These are the ones that I will always go to when I am in the mood to read some fanfiction. Then we've got I Like It. So I do like to read it on occasion, but not always, but I still like the idea of it, so I'll still go. Then we have I Wouldn't Look For It, but I don't mind reading it, which is very self-explanatory. Like, again, it's not something that I would normally look for, but if it's there, I'll read it. Next one is If Done Right. So obviously it is a trope that maybe I wouldn't really necessarily read unless the author of that fic is does it really well. Then yeah, I would read it. So it has to be done right. And then of course last but not my cup of tea, something that I would probably avoid and just not bother to read at all, because again, it's not what I'm into. So yeah, let's get to it, shall we? Because we got a lot to go through. So yeah, all right. So first things off, what we're starting off the bat with is ABO. So for those who don't know what ABO is, it's basically it basically is alpha, beta, and omega. It's basically if humans had more animal-esque instincts. So we've got some people who are kind of like alphas, like they're the top dogs. Then we obviously got betas, which I think, if I remember, they're like kind of in the medium, I think. And omegas are kind of like bottoms and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm not gonna go completely into detail because obviously YouTube may YouTube may take this video down, so I won't go into it properly. But if you know, you know. And yes, so I say I like it. I think it's some good stuff. I've read some really good fan fiction that has this trope. I wouldn't say I love it. I wouldn't always go to read one, but you know what? I still kind of like it, so yeah, we'll go with that. Amnesia fic. To be honest, I've not read many amnesia fics, to be perfectly honest. I've actually not really seen any, so I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I guess I would say if it's done right, because I think also amnesia plots in other times can be good, but other times not really, because it kind of gets repetitive. So I say if it's done right, I'll read it. Alright, next up is Angst. Well, yeah, I know. I do like a bit of angst, even though it hurts me greatly, dearly. Yeah, I do like a bit of angst at times when it comes to fanfiction. Yeah, I know, it's a little, So yeah, I'm a big fan of angst. Anyways, then there is Arranged Marriage. Again, I've not read a lot of arranged marriage fics, but again, I think it's one of these things, if it's done right, I'll read it. So yeah, it was more of it's done right than anything. It's like a bit tropey, but at the same time it can still be kind of cute. Like if they do end up liking each other at the end, if they start off not liking each other but then build to like each other or something like that, we'll see. But yes, next up we have baby fic. So this is obviously like if the characters end up having a baby or they have to look after a baby. Honestly, I wouldn't look for it, but I wouldn't mind reading it because I think it could still be really, really cute. So yeah, just like seeing them being parents would be like really, really cute, or if they had to like look after a baby and just to see how they would be if they were parents, again, would be really super cute. So yeah, I wouldn't look for it, but again, I wouldn't mind reading it. Alright, sharing a bed. Oh yes, the classic sharing a bed trope where, oh no, when we booked the hotel, we forgot to say that we wanted 2 beds, and then we have 1 bed that we have to share. Yeah, I like it. I definitely like it. It's cute and could get into some interesting territories. So yeah. Alright, next up, we've got Bang or Die. I think this one kind of speaks for itself. Basically, you gotta do the do or you die. And honestly, I wouldn't look for it, but I wouldn't mind reading it. So yeah, it'd be an interesting concept. I actually don't think I've really read any of those fan fictions, but if anybody can recommend me some good ones, link it down below in the comments. So yeah, alright. Next up is body swap AUs. Honestly, again, I don't think this is one I'd really look out for. But it could be interesting, so we'll go with that, because again, I wouldn't mind reading it, but again, I wouldn't actually, you know what, if done right, because sometimes it can get a little iffy when it comes to body swap, so if it's done right, then yeah, I would read it. But yeah, so that's, yeah, if it's done right, I would, but still okay. Alright, coffee shop AUs. This is just, yeah, I love coffee AUs. They are the cutest. I freaking love them. They're pretty much the most fanfiction that I read is usually coffee AUs. I even have a badge on my jacket that says I love coffee AUs. So yes, this is my ish. I freaking love coffee AUs. Please, yes. Alright, next up we have college AU. I say I like it. It's kind of cute. To kind of see how characters would be in a college setting is always interesting to see, because I always like to see what would happen if you put certain different characters in different situations. So like if it's more like the original show is more like sci-fi, like what would it, or sci-fi fantasy type-ish, or but then you put them in a more normal world, see how these characters interact. Yeah, again, I like it. Not top tier, but I like it. Crack fic. Now, of course, these are fics where it's usually just for fun and not to be taken seriously, and I don't look for it, but again, I don't mind reading it. So if like I'm in the mood for a laugh when I'm reading fanfiction, I'll probably go for it, but again, I don't always look for it. Alright, next up is crossover fanfiction. Now, I will admit, in the past, I read quite a few crossover fanfictions just because, again, I like the idea of how would these characters interact if they knew each other. I remember once I read a Kingdom Hearts crossover with Sailor Moon. That was an interesting one. And I think also a few others as well. But nowadays, I don't really look for it, but for nostalgia reasons, I probably would still not mind reading it. Like if I come across it, so yeah. So there we go there. And then we've got dark fic. Yep. I know. I like a little bit of darkness here and there. That's why again I like a bit of angst. So yeah. Whoops. Yeah, that's me definitely. Then there's major character death. Honestly, for me, it depends on the character who dies. So, like, I guess I would put it if it's, like, I don't know, actually, to be honest, like, I'm not a big fan, like, I know I say I like my angst and I like my dark fics, but I'm not a big fan of if it's, like, a character I really like who dies in the fic. so I probably would say not my cup of tea. I know I said I like my fics to be dark, but not that dark, if you get what I mean. So yeah, that's there. Next up is Canon Divergence. So basically that is just going a different path than what the canon story actually is, even though I technically think that's basically what fan fiction is. We're basically just taking what's kind of canon and just kind of defending, like going away from it. But I do kind of like the fan fictions where, like, if say there was a choice in the show, like what would happen if the character made the other choice instead of the actual canon choice. So I would probably say I like it. Yeah, I wouldn't actively go for it, but I still would like to read it here and there. Alright, next up we have enemies to lovers. Okay, for me, it's definitely if it's done right, because again, it can be interesting to see it happening, but other times maybe not. Like, it could go into that territory where it's like, maybe not. I mean, I don't really ship that many enemies to lovers, unless obviously maybe Adora and Catra count. Alright, spoiler for She-Ra. Time here if you don't want to hear the spoiler, but for obviously Catra and Adora, they're canon. We all know they're canon. And I think for me, I don't mind shipping it because they were friends first, then of course they were enemies, then they became friends again, and then they became lovers. Then I'm okay with that. So yeah, if it's done right, I'll read it, but other times, maybe not. So yeah, alright. Established relationship. Honestly, nah, I like the chase. I like to see how they got into the relationship, so I don't really read a lot of things that are like their established relationship, like they're already together. It kind of, I don't know, for me it's like, what else can you do? So yeah, unless maybe it's like they did a sequel to like the fanfiction, then maybe, but I don't know. Again, yeah, it's sort of not my cup of tea. I don't really go out looking for this kind of fanfiction. Alright, next up is Fairy Tale AU. So obviously, if it's a Fairy Tale AU type world within the fandom, but yeah, I'd say I like it. It can produce some really cute fan fiction. So yeah, I would say I definitely like it. It'd be very interesting to see, and yeah, just to see what characters would be like if it was like Cinderella type story, Little Mermaid type story, which again I love freaking Little Mermaid, one of my favorite Disney movies. But yeah, alright. Next up we've got fake relationships. Okay, so this is obviously when there's that story where they have to fake a relationship because it's one of the, like, person A told their family they had a boyfriend, but they don't really. So they ask their friend to be like, hey, can you pretend to be my boyfriend for this? And they're like, yeah, sure. But they're more like friends, and then some feelings happen. But again, I think it's one of these things if it's done right. If it's done right, because other times it could just be like too like cliche in a way where it's like, oh, we've seen this way too many times before. So yeah, I would say fake relationship, yeah, if it's done right. Alright, next up we have Fix It Fic. So these are obviously fics that fix what a lot of people didn't like what happened in canon, which I can think of a lot of shows where a lot of people did not like what happened in canon. And it really, yeah, I like it. I don't love it, but there's certain fandoms where I'm like, okay, that's not exactly how things maybe should have gone. Like a certain, I don't know, Voltron, what? Yeah, so I don't mind Fix It fanfiction, even though technically I guess that's still what fanfiction kind of is if you really think about it. But, yeah, alright. Next up, we have fluff. Yes, we love this. Yes, I love a bit of fluff in some fanfiction where they're just being really cute. They're not, like, yeah. Like, they're just being really, really cute, like, holding hands, maybe going on a date, etc. Like, yes, we like some cute stuff. I may like some angst, but I still like some fluff too. So, yeah, next up, we have Friends to Lovers. Yes, 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 we stand. Yes, yes, I freaking love when it's friends to lovers, because yes, I freaking love these ships. Like, they're normally my go-to kind of ships. Like, if they start as friends and then mutually become more, then yes, yes, we love this. Yes, we need this. Yes. Okay, so next up, genfics. So this is like not a lot of shipping usually goes down in these fics. Usually it's just a bunch of friends just hanging out and seeing what they get up to in certain things. I say I wouldn't look for it, but I don't mind reading it, because sometimes I do like to see how they would just interact when other stuff is going down and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't mind it. I wouldn't look for it because I'm normally looking for some shippy stuff, but I don't mind it. Again, I wouldn't look for it normally, but I wouldn't mind reading it. Alright. Hurt comfort. So obviously this would be like somebody got hurt and they're getting comfort. Yes, love this. Yes. Again, cute as heck. Yes. Love it. Want it more. Yes, it is cute. And yeah, okay. Next up, we've got historical AU. Honestly, I don't really look for it. It's not really a thing I really look for. It's not really my cup of tea. I don't mind some historical stuff, but other times I'm a bit like, meh, I don't know how to feel about it. So, again, I'll just put it in, not my cup of tea. Alright. Next up, we have high school AU. Again, I'd say I like it. Again, it's kind of same with college AU. It's to see what these characters would be like in high school. If these kids aren't really in high school, like they may be the age of high schoolers, but again, they're off saving the world or some ish like that, then I don't mind seeing what they'd be like in high school. It'd be definitely interesting. So yeah, I'd say I like it, but it's not like my top tier. Alright. Next up is Cuddle for warmth. Now, again, I don't look for it, but I don't mind reading it, because honestly that would be really, really cute. Especially, it's a bit where maybe they're stuck somewhere and it's really cold and they really have no other option but to cuddle each other to make sure that they are nice and warm and, you know, don't freeze to death. So, yeah. I, again, don't look for it, but again, I wouldn't mind reading it. Alright, humor. Yeah, I would say I like my humor. I like a little humor in my fanfiction. Like, not all doom and grey and just cute stuff. Some humor stuff is kind of cute too. So yeah, I wouldn't mind reading some humor stuff. Alright. Next up is, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Invergargo, which Verzo, I don't know, but it basically just says Drunken Confession. Again, if done right, it just really depends on the situation at hand about it. I mean, it could be cute, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if you really want to confess to someone you like when you're completely and utterly drunk. So yeah, if done right, yes. Okay, first kiss. Not my cup of tea. It's kind of just like that, kind of again tropey and really like, okay, whatever. Like, it can be cute, but it's just, no, I don't like the idea of just having the whole thing, I must have my first kiss, because it makes it this huge thing, when, like, if it's your first kiss, most of the time, your first kisses are they never go smoothly, like, they never do, like, yeah, no, it's just, so, it's, yeah, just, no, just first kiss, maybe not, okay, magic AU, yes, magic AUs, I like it, because again, I like the whole fantasy element to it. It can kind of maybe fit into the fairy tale AU as well, but again, I really like the idea of maybe like if one of the characters is a witch, or etc, etc, if it's maybe more in the sort of supernatural type element, then yes, I will definitely read it, because again, that's always really fun to read too. So yeah, I would say so to that. Alright, next up we have is miscommunication. No, that is a big note from me. I do not like miscommunication, even in the actual canon of shows. Like, if someone hears something, but they don't hear the next part of the conversation, and it gets all messy, it's like, no, I don't like that ish, no. Like, talk to people, like, talk to your partner, talk to them, instead of, like, being mad at them at something you heard, instead of maybe going over to, you know, talk to them about it, and then find out, you can easily find out, oh no, that's not what they were saying at all. So yeah, miscommunication, no. I don't like it, nah. I don't want to read it in my fanfiction, hell to no. Okay, so next up, we have our missing scenes. Yeah, I'd say I like some missing scenes. It's kind of like maybe some scenes that you were feeling a bit like should have happened, like maybe certain conversation that we didn't really get to see, or stuff like that. So yeah, again, I would like that. Alright, next up, mutual pining. Yes, yes, we love this. Yes, 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 when two characters are literally like, they both really like each other, but they won't tell each other. It's cute. And when they finally find out that they actually both like each other, it's adorable. And I just always love when you see like the friends of these characters, who are like, they both, like, they know that they both like each other but won't do anything. It is adorable. I love it. Yes, mutual pining. Yes, we love that. Alright, next up is sex pollen. So when I first saw this, I didn't exactly know what it meant, but I looked it up, and it's basically when a character maybe comes around this weird alien type kind of flower, and then they get sprayed with like the pollen, and basically they end up wanting to have sex. And honestly, but it also says that a lot of times it's not consensual, and honestly, I am about consent. I do not want to read about stuff that is not consensual, so I'ma say no, not my cup of tea. I prefer it to be that it's consent throughout the whole thing, because again, it's the person's kind of under a spell, and I don't really like that whole idea. Like, no, we need consent, people. Consent is important, even in fanfiction. Alright, next up, we have pregnancy fic. Now again, with baby fic, I wouldn't look it up, but again, I wouldn't mind reading it. I think it would be really cute. Again, just seeing the couple being together and handling the pregnancy and everything. Again, it would be really cute, but again, I wouldn't actively look for it. Okay, so next up we have PWP, which is basically porn without plot. And again, I don't mind a bit of smut now and then, but I still want some kind of plot happening in the story. I don't want it just for smut, like, all the time. So yeah, I need some kind of plot for it, but yeah, it's just not my kind of thing. Alright, next up we have is Royalty AU, which, I wouldn't actively look for it. Or, you know, I don't know. I like it. It can be kind of cute. It can, again, also depend, like, if the character is a prince or princess, king or queen, etc, etc. It'd be really interesting to see how that would go down. So, yeah, that's definitely something I would probably read. Alright. Next up is slow burns. I'd say I like it. I wouldn't always look for it, because sometimes it can be a bit tedious at times, but it still can be very cute. And, you know, as I said before, like, I don't really like established relationships. I like the chase. So yeah, it'd be slow burns can be painful at times, but other times can be really cute. So yeah, I like it. Not my top tier, but I like it. Alright. Next up we have is Soulmate AUs. For me, I say I like it. Yeah, again, not my top tier. For me, I don't really believe in soulmates as a concept in real life, but in the fanfiction world, yeah, I freaking love the whole idea of, like, maybe the name of the person that your soulmate appears on your skin, or the little red ribbon of fate that's on your pinky that is connected to your soulmate. Those are cute. I like that in fanfiction. Real life, not so much, because again, I'm not a huge believer in soulmates, because I can't wrap my head around that there's only one person for someone. So yeah, there we go. Alright, time loop. I don't know, it can kind of get kind of boring and repetitive, so it's not really my cup of tea of when it comes to stuff. So yeah, I've never even been a big fan of time loop episodes in shows, so yeah, I would have to say not my cup of tea. Next up is love triangles. No. Nah. Don't like love triangles. I'm getting sick of reading them in YA novels. I don't want to see it in my fanfictions too. Thank you very much. It causes unnecessary drama and stuff, and just no. Like, I don't like love triangles. They're just not my thing. Ew, no. No love triangles for me. So yeah. Next up we have unhappy endings. I know I said I like my angst, but again, I think maybe if it's done right, I wouldn't mind it. Like, if it's done right, I wouldn't mind an unhappy ending, depending on how the situation goes and stuff. So yeah, I would probably say, if done right. Alright, we are now only to our last one, and that is Unacquired Love, which basically, yeah. I know it can be interesting, but honestly, nah, it's not my thing. I don't like the idea that they wouldn't exactly end up together because it's one-sided. It's kind of like, it's not great. It's not my favorite thing. I know there's I can never pronounce, but you know, like when it's that flower thing where, you know, if they have unacquired love, they like basically spit out flowers and they can die from it. Not my thing. Don't like it. It's like maybe if it starts off like that, but then they go closer, but still, no, not my thing, no. So yeah, there you go. There is my favorite tropes. Again, I love this one. It's very interesting. Like it. Interesting. All that. Tell me down below in the comments, do you agree? Do you disagree with me? And also, I will put a link down in the description where you can find this tropes and you can do it yourself. And again, I will put Connie's links down below in the description so you can check her video out too. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe for more fandom content that you can shake a stick at. And see ya!